Are you wondering about the power in your subconscious minds? If so, today's video is for you. Subconscious mind is the secret to everything in regards to manifestation. The thing is, you probably just have no idea how you can take advantage of this amazing tool. So today I'm making a video all about this, and I'm telling you how you can reprogram your subconscious mind to manifest anything. So if you want to find out how to do that, then be sure to keep watching. Hello, beautiful people. It's Jen. I am a spiritual life and business coach, and I'd love to welcome you here today. Thank you so much for joining me in my little YouTube community. In case you don't know, I release 2 videos here every week all about the art of mindset and manifestation. So I really believe that you need both the spiritual tools and the practical tools so you can use them both together in order to create your best life. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then I invite you to join me on this journey of transformation and up-leveling, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm so pleased to announce there are seats available for my next intake of unblocked group manifestation coaching. If you are looking for a group coaching environment to help kick your butt and help you elevate your life in any way you want, then you won't want to miss this. If you're tired of feeling stuck in your manifestations, and if you feel like you just need a little bit of extra oomph and a little extra magic, this is the perfect container for you. So I'm going to give you more information at the end, so be sure you stick around until then. So as I said in the intro, today we are talking everything about reprogramming your subconscious mind to manifest anything you desire. And I know that sounds like a big order, but it actually isn't nearly as complicated as you might think it is. But before we hop into the details of how to do this, I just want to talk a little bit about the power of your subconscious mind and why it's so important to think about your subconscious mind when it comes to manifestation. So I know most manifestation teachers will tell you to set an intention and to visualize, and those things are a great start. However, there is a problem when it comes to manifestation. When you're setting an intention, or when you are visualizing something or feeling good about it or whatever, you are only working with one little part of your mind, and that is your conscious mind. You are not taking into account the bigger part of your brain, which is your subconscious mind. And unfortunately, we all have subconscious mind programming in there that is full of things that we aren't really wanting to believe, or things that came from our childhood, or limiting beliefs that get in our way. And unless we do this work where we are going to go in and reprogram this stuff, eventually, sooner or later, your subconscious mind is going to win the inner tug of war, and it is going to trip you up on the way to manifesting what you want. It can do this through self-sabotage. It will do this through negative self-talk. It will do this through keeping you trapped in fear and self-doubt. And I know that we have all experienced every single one of these things, but I also know that you have the power to get beyond it. And just because your brain is really good at thinking these limiting beliefs, or telling you that you're not good enough, or keeping you afraid in one way or another, that doesn't mean that you have to stay there. And in fact, I'm challenging you today to do this work, because you need to change yourself and change your world from the inside out. And really, that's the whole thing about manifesting. When we create something real inside of us, when it's really in alignment, everything inside of us is all working towards the same goal, that is when we can make it appear in our outside world. So manifestation isn't just setting an intention and sitting around watching TV and waiting for it to come. It is about you going in and reprogramming yourself to actually reflect the things that you want and to become the person who you really want to be. It's just super exciting, and we all have the potential to do this. But like I said in another video recently, nobody can do this work for you. You can read all the books about reprogramming you want. You can watch all the YouTube videos that you want. You can hire a coach even. But if you are not going to do this work of actually going in, being curious about what's in your subconscious mind and doing some reprogramming work, then you are going to remain exactly the same. So my dear friend, I want you to make a promise to yourself right now, here and today, that you are going to change. And I'm going to give you a tool right now to help you do exactly that, to start changing your life from the inside out and to start manifesting anything you want simply by reprogramming your subconscious mind. Okay, so are we ready to go? I'm going to give you a 4-step formula today to get you started. And my step number 1, that is going to be the most obvious thing in the world, is going to be just developing an awareness of your limiting beliefs or your negative programming or your old stories or your old identity or whatever it is. Awareness is key. We need to know what thoughts are in our brain and be able to identify them before we'll have any hope of being able to go in and reprogram and heal them and fix them. So the number 1 job for you at this moment in time is to simply start noticing the thoughts that you are having. So if you have a problem with really creating a division between yourself and your thoughts, I would suggest you set a timer on your phone, set it to go off 3 times a day, keep a notebook by you, and whenever the timer goes off, you write down a few of the things that you have been thinking about. This is a really great way to actually check in with yourself over the course of a day and see where your brain is actually at and see what kind of thoughts it has settled into. It's really important to remember that our brain thinks mostly the same thoughts every single day, day in and day out. And it's something crazy, like 80% of those thoughts are negative. But that just goes to show how much potential there is to change. And do I think you can go in and reprogram 80,000 negative thoughts? Probably not. But the point is, as soon as we start to do this work, we can understand that these things that are living inside of us like real facts are not really facts at all. So a limiting belief is something you may have believed for a long time, but that belief is A, not empirically true, and B, gets in your way as a conscious creator. So the examples of limiting beliefs I always like to give are, for example, say you're trying to manifest money, yet your parents were always telling you as a child that money doesn't grow on trees and that you shouldn't ask for things because money is so hard to earn. So if you have this paradigm inside of you that money doesn't grow on trees and it's really difficult, you are probably going to go out there and live your life like money doesn't grow on trees and it's really difficult to earn. If you don't even have the paradigm that money can be easy, that money can flow to you in many ways, that you don't have to work hard to make money, that means you probably aren't going to figure out those things in your world. You need to have the paradigm there and then start creating the proof, and the proof comes in the reality. So it is really important to see what these things are. It is really important to see that they aren't true. And it is really important to be open to the idea of changing them. As a side note, your brain loves to be right. It wants to prove itself right over and over again, which means you might come up against a bit of resistance when it comes to changing your beliefs. But this is the importance of adopting a growth mindset. If you can think of yourself as a beginner, if you can take everything at face value and stop, trying to rely on your past for results, then you will have so much more of a chance to be able to open this door and reprogram yourself. If part of your brain is still just wanting to be right and being like, this always happens to me and this is my luck, or I am somehow uniquely broken, then that is exactly what you're going to create. So if you are serious about creating new results, you really need to be open to this idea and be open to finding those limiting beliefs in your mind. Okay, step number 2 for you today in how to reprogram your mind to manifest anything you want is to get curious about where these beliefs or these programs came from. So I would suggest taking a time out and thinking back to your childhood, thinking back to the earliest memories you have about hearing this limiting belief or seeing something or having something modeled to you. Most of this programming, believe it or not, comes to us before we are even 8 years old. So you might be time traveling back a long way. But the important thing that I want you to see here is that this word, this phrase, this limiting belief, this idea that you have in your mind was not something that you could point a finger to. This was something that your parents told you or talked about or modeled to you. This is not a factual fact. This is someone else's interpretation of a certain situation. This is not yours. It is not yours. You did not consciously decide on it. It came into your brain and you are still operating under this pretense, but you don't have to anymore. So very often I find if we can look back into those first moments with this belief or those strong moments of this belief, that is when we get the power to shift things and to see that our little child limited perspective is not the only way to see the world. And in fact, we can open the door to possibility when we open the door to interpreting this situation or this thought or this belief in a different way. If you can understand that your parents, had this belief and it may have served them, but that it is not serving you, but they came from a different era, a different background, different everything, then you can leave the belief behind. I think sometimes people feel guilty because, if they're rejecting something their parents taught them on some level, that they're rejecting their parents in some way. And I can assure you that is not true. The thing I always say about this is you probably would not want to just listen to the music your parents listen to all the time. So why would you want to walk around listening to the thoughts your parents have all the time? Yes, all of us do this, and that is the default. And so now that we are conscious adults, we have the power to go back in and check out what we're actually thinking and see where the flaws are and see where things came from and see if this thought matches with what we want, matches with our ideals, matches with where we want to go. Which leads me to step number 3. And this one is all about deciding on what you want to believe. So what do you want to believe instead? We have this old idea, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, what if money did grow on trees? And in fact, if you think about money being paper comes from cotton, or it did historically, then money does grow on trees. And actually, it doesn't really grow on trees so much anymore because it's all electronic, but a country can decide to just create more money at any old time. And it does, and that's where inflation comes from. But the point is, it just made money appear out of nowhere. Yet we still run around with this program of thinking that money is scarce and it's hard to come by and we have to work so hard to get it, when actually new money is being generated all the time. So what if you lean into that part of it? What if you lean into there is always more money coming into the world. There's always more available. There's always more coming. There's always being more created. And that is actually true. You can look into this stuff for yourself if you don't believe me. But if you lean into that idea that money is always being generated, that there is not just a finite amount for all of our lives that we all have to fight over, what does that feel like instead? What does it feel like instead to believe that money can be easy and flowing and created constantly? So I would suggest that that would be a better money belief than money doesn't grow on trees. And this is the part where I'm going to give you complete license to decide on whatever you want to believe in. I know that we came from a pseudoscientific background and we were told we can't believe in anything unless we see it first. But trust me, you are creating your world based on things that you never saw anyway. And right now, most of those things that you believe in are pretty terrible things to believe in. So what if you play with this and just become open to this idea and really learn how to stretch your wings as a conscious creator and just see what you can create. See how much money flows to you if you believe money is easy and flowy and constant. What can change with that one belief? So you have my permission here to believe in anything you want to, even without proof. You have my permission here to believe in something that may seem crazy, but I know there are coaches out there who have a belief about something like, anytime I spend money, 3 times as much money comes back to me, etc., etc., etc. You can play with any belief you want to around money or love or success or health or whatever. Play with your beliefs. Choose what you want to believe. This is your power, your story. You are a conscious creator. You are writing your rules. What rules do you want to write? And think about how fun it would be instead of leaning into punishment and leaning into scarcity and leaning into that weird puritanical mindset we've all been socialized to have. If you can say yes to yourself in this way, just imagine what yes can come into your life because of it. Okay, and we're rounding around the track here, and this is step number 4 and how to reprogram your subconscious mind to manifest anything. And so your job now that you've decided on a new belief is to simply go out and collect evidence of this. So your brain loves to recognize patterns. It also loves to prove itself right. And at first, trying on a new belief is going to feel like putting on a Halloween costume and wandering around on the street in the middle of July. It's going to feel very strange, but we can make strange our new normal. We can make this belief feel like a comfy, well-worn shoe. And the way that we do that is by starting to look for evidence of what we want. So I suggest you go out there and do that. So when you're going through your life and you are trying to think about this, I would suggest an evidence journal with you. So that can be a paper journal or maybe a page in your notes on your phone, and just write down anything that you want to have support this new belief. And it can be flimsy AF. It doesn't really matter. The point is that you start to look for evidence. And the more evidence you create, the more evidence you will find. That's how the brain works. That's how your subconscious mind works. It's a little fact finder. So we are now going to look for evidence that love is easy, money is easy to come by, health is super simple, whatever the belief is, and just write it down. And I want you to really, really rewire that in and just look at that notepad once a day, twice a day, in the morning and at night, or just at night, and just really try to get yourself firing on that new belief. This takes a little time, and like I said, feels a little weird in the beginning. It feels like you're trying on some like adult clothing when you're a child or something like that. Like it feels strange, but you can make this your new normal. And in fact, you will make this your new normal. All you have to do is just keep choosing it, deciding on it, choosing it, finding the evidence, and it will become your new normal. And when you have that new belief that supports what you want, that is when the manifestation gateways open up and you are able to step into your full possibility. Not because there's suddenly more possibility, but because you can finally see the possibility that was there for you all along. Okay, so that was today's video for all about how to reprogram your subconscious mind to manifest anything. And this formula is super straightforward, and I really hope it helps to shift the way you see the world, and it helps you to become a true conscious creator. Remember, thinking what you've always thought is going to create what you've always gotten. So if you want to change things, it's time to shift your life from the inside out. And that is exactly what this channel is all about. You have the power, my friends. Do not sit around waiting for life to prove it to you. Go out there and prove it to life. So thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Like I said at the beginning, I have a brand new group coaching program. If you want to get a part of it, it is 6 weeks of you and me and a bunch of like-minded people up-leveling and really transforming our lives from the inside out. If you want to get on board with that, I have an application process open. So come on over to my site and fill out a form, and I will set up a time to chat with you about your option. If you're not interested in group coaching though, I also have you covered. I have a free manifestation planner for you to download. So come on over to the site and grab that. I am sure that it's going to help you manifest like crazy. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to watch more, click the latest right here. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. I love you so, so very much. And as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.